get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. Before we get started, I'd like to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Joe Shakinab and Shakinab.com. Go visit Shakinab.com for services, monthly updates, and contact information. Once again, visit Shakinab.com, promoting leadership and scholarship. Y'all know what I'm drinking on tonight. I'm drinking on that Crown Vanilla. I'm mixing that with that Dr. Pepper cream soda. If you haven't tried it, it's really good. You can also mix it with root beer or regular Dr. Pepper or whatever you like. But Crown Vanilla is my drink of choice, and I mix it with Dr. Pepper cream soda. Man, there's some things I want to get into tonight. Before we get started, I just want to put out some few announcements real quick. If you ever want to be a guest on the podcast, Drinking After Dark Podcast, y'all make sure y'all go to Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook and Instagram and send a DM, and I could talk to you about details. Also, too, if you want to advertise on Drinking After Dark Podcast, same thing, go to Facebook, Instagram, and leave a message, and I'll get back to you with details as well. So, you know, everybody's welcome on the podcast. Doesn't matter who you are, where you live. If you want to come on the podcast, you know, talk with your boy, you're more than welcome. If you have a business or you have something that you want to promote, you're also welcome to come on the podcast and do so, and, you know, have a drink or two with your boy. So, you know, everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. Let's go and get started with this. I'm gonna get into basketball first and foremost. If y'all don't know, I am a huge sports fan. Basketball and football are my two favorite sports. And the national championship game, it was everything. Congrats to Kansas for winning the national championship. North Carolina had a big lead, pretty much blew the lead. Kansas came back and won. So shout out to Kansas for winning the national championship. Man, that was a great game. If you missed it, I'm sorry for you. But if you enjoyed it like I did, y'all know what's up. Y'all know that was it was a game. It came down to it, and Kansas pulled it out. They're national champs, so congrats to them. Really, I want to get into the Lakers. If you're a Lakers fan, I'm sorry. If you're a basketball fan and, you know, you're not really too much of a Lakers fan, but anyway, the Lakers are done for the season. They have been eliminated from playoff basketball. All right. So that means no playing game, no playoffs, season's over with. And a lot of people out there who either have their own sports podcasts or people who are on TV, they have so many things what was wrong with the Lakers. I could give you my 2 cents. I actually have a friend who is a huge Lakers fan. I probably will bring him back on the podcast sometime to discuss it. You know, he's a huge Lakers fan. He basically jumped off the boat long time ago, so he was pretty much done with them. But here's my 2 cents about the Lakers. The Westbrook trade wasn't going to work. No, if anybody who has followed who has followed Russell Westbrook, y'all know that he's a Hall of Fame. Let's get that out the way right now. He's a Hall of Famer, but the problem is that he to me, doesn't work well with other superstars, right? Kevin Durant, James Harden, who else? Bradley Beal. All these, even with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, he doesn't work very well with other superstars. No, he could play with teammates who doesn't necessarily need the ball or, stuff like that. But in terms of other superstars, he doesn't really work well with them. So that was already a bad trade, which LeBron pretty much wanted Russell Westbrook to come to LA to the Lakers instead of going after DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield. Because you could have had both those guys and still kept the core around the Lakers. You could have kept Caruso, could have kept KCP. Probably had to trade away Kuzma, but for DeMar DeRozan, I understand it. So, but that didn't happen. What else? No defense. The Lakers plays no defense. And again, think about who they got rid of. They got rid of Caruso, KCP, Kuzma. No, guys who play defense, right? No, with Anthony Davis, with the Dwight Howard. They couldn't stop anybody. They just can't stop anybody. And that was one of their downfalls. That was one of their downfalls the entire season, that they were old and they were slow. And it showed. It showed that, this team cannot play defense. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is another reason why the Lakers had a bad season. Injuries. If anybody who has followed Anthony Davis' career from the moment he first came into the league as the number 1 overall pick to the Pelicans, all the way up to now as a Laker, NBA champion, by the way, we all know he has a history of injuries. He can't stay healthy. It's just, he can't stay healthy. Now, some injuries happen during the course of a game, but a lot of times, non-contact injuries happen is because, you're not ready to play ball. Take care of your body in the off season and you're not ready to play ball. So his injuries, it's always a constant thing. He'll play 2 or 3 games. He's out for 16, 17 games because of an injury. Now, the one injury he had, I think it was the foot and ankle, which he rolled really bad. That's if you play sports, we all know ankle injuries happen all the time. I sprained my ankle playing ball, so if anybody doesn't know how that feels, it's painful. It's hard to walk on, and at times too, it depends on your size and how much time it'll take to heal. So Anthony Davis injury really hurt the Lakers season. But I would say this, even if he was healthy, with LeBron being healthy and Westbrook being healthy, I don't think it still would have worked. I think they'll be in the play-in game, but I don't think they would make it past first round if they do get into the actual playoffs. It was just my opinion. And unfortunately, some blame got going on LeBron. LeBron, he actually put this team together. Instead of listening to management, because they wanted a DeMar DeRozan. He wanted to come back to LA, who was also from LA. Buddy Hield, a guy who could stretch the floor. That's what LeBron needs. He needs space to operate. He didn't go for that. He was thinking about a guy that could carry a team while he get his rest at his age, being his 19th year in the league. Even though he had a great individual season, it's unfortunate now you see that LeBron can't carry a team anymore because the pieces around him don't fit. You get what I'm saying? And I felt like the whole DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield trades could have happened, and I think they would have been a top 4 team in the West, maybe a top 3, because DeMar DeRozan, the way he's playing right now, I know the Laker fans are like, we could have had this guy and we didn't get him. We could have had this guy, could have got Buddy Hield, kept Caruso, kept KCP, and it just didn't happen. And, LeBron gets some blame in this as well. Unfortunately, the head coach, Frank Vogel, he's going to be parting ways with this team. As a coach, you're expected to do a job. And unfortunately, this team has underperformed. I think a lot of people really don't blame Frank Vogel because they understood the team he had last year and the previous years compared to this year, where they played defense. And, you had Anthony Davis, who's a top 5 talent. But the problem with a top 5 talent, you only have top 5 talent if you're available and you're healthy and you're producing on the court. So yeah, you have the talent in the world, but are you available to show the world that I am a top 5 talent? But I think that's what it was, just a bad situation for the Lakers all the way around. And I don't think even with the organization itself, I don't think they have a true leader. I think Jeanie Buss is going to have to step up and be the true leader of the Lakers organization and really think about what direction can this team go to in the future. So it's just a lot going on with this franchise, this team, and it's going to be tough. We expect LeBron to be back for his 20th season, but he can't carry that team. It's all on Anthony Davis. I don't know what type of moves they're able to make, but they're going to have to figure out something next year. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. The next topic, real quick, within the NBA, season is about to come to an end. I know a lot of fans out there have their picks for MVP. I'm going to tell you who my pick is real quick, and I got to go with Giannis. Period. Giannis. And the reason I go with Giannis is because Giannis plays both ends of the court. He's been, pretty much healthy all season long. He plays the exact same way every game. He goes hard on the offensive end. He goes hard defensively. And I know there's going to be people like, well, he already won it twice, back-to-back years, a couple years ago. They gave it to Joker, well-deserved. Joel Embiid was he was a front runner for MVP, but I have to go with Giannis. I mean, the way this team is playing, when it comes to the Eastern Conference, the Bucks, everybody talking about the Celtics, they're on the rise, but I don't think they have what it takes to beat the Bucks in a 7-game series. When you look at Brooklyn, I think Brooklyn, they haven't really gelled together. It's just too little too late for Brooklyn to actually come together and try to make, some noise in the playoffs, if they do make the playoffs, by the way. But, I look at the Celtics. I think Chicago probably might have the better chance, but I don't think they have enough offensive power to compete with Brooklyn. I like Philly. Again, when it comes to offensive firepower and defense, Milwaukee has that. So I see Milwaukee coming out the Eastern Conference. That's why I see Giannis in the way he's producing on the basketball court and what he's doing on both ends of the court. I look at Giannis as the MVP. And I want to give some love to Devin Booker. I think he doesn't get enough credit for MVP consideration. Um, the Phoenix Suns, best team in the league. I don't know why he doesn't even get consideration, but I think they're going to start realizing that he could potentially be a MVP candidate. So, but that's who I have. Me personally, that's who I have as my MVP of the season is Giannis. Team is producing. He's producing. He plays both ends of the court. We all know he's going to be first team All NBA. Most likely first team All Defense in the NBA again. When you talk about a guy who could be the MVP of the league, be defensive player in the league, Giannis is that guy. So that is my pick. But also, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Joker, he carried that Denver Nuggets team. He carried them, and I think that I can see why people would have him as the MVP. I think Luka doesn't get enough recognition for MVP because what Dallas is doing, they've been having a great season, quiet as kept. They're doing their thing in Dallas. Jason Kidd, head coach, is doing his thing down there in Dallas. So, there's a lot of guys who could be worthy of MVP. I'm just saying it's Giannis, then Embiid, then Jokic. Those are my top three in that order. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We don't know how the writers are going to vote. It's always been this what is the MVP? I know Shaq brings it up all the time. What is the MVP? Is the best player in the league, or is it somebody who's most valuable and stuff like that? I just think who's the most valuable. If you take that person off that team, how great or how good would that team be? And I think that I think the Bucks will be good. I don't think that would be great without Giannis. So that's just my opinion. And I think too, Jokic is getting a lot of love because Murray, I think he's not back yet. And we all know Murray to me is their best playmaker. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how this goes. And once they announce who the MVP is, after the regular season, I'll give y'all my thoughts on that as well. All right. So I want to talk to you guys. This is actually going to be kind of funny for me. I might rub a lot of people the wrong way with this statement I'm about to make, but I think it's getting a little ridiculous with women, these fake booties, all on social media so they could gain followers and get all the likes and comments and everything. It's starting to look ridiculous because here's the thing. I don't really care if you do get a fake butt. Just make sure the butt looks good after it's done. When you get your butt done. At times that shit look nasty. Like you look at it from the side, you like that shit look nasty. And I just think that it's getting a little out of hand now. You go into these countries to get it done, it's not done properly. And you all up on social media, you want to flaunt it and things like that. Is at a point where we're like, all right, this is a mess. So if you're going to get your butt done, don't overdo it. I don't think you should overdo it. I think if you're going to get it done, just get it just right and then leave it alone. Don't go too wild with it. Don't do that. It's like with any type of plastic surgery, whether you're a man or a woman, any type of plastic surgery, you could do it. You could go a little too far. And we have seen people who have had plastic surgery done to them, and it just completely it just did not look good. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. Um, which I'm gonna go into what I'm about to say next, but um, on this topic, if you're gonna get your butt done, please get it done right. You know, I'm a fan of natural booties. That's just me. I'm a fan of natural booties. If you're gonna get a natural butt, eat some chicken or something. Get it that way. Also, you can exercise, do that as well. But when you go to the doctor and that butt could barely, no, your legs could barely hold up that butt, and it just way over, it's slumped over, it doesn't have a natural shape to it. It's ridiculous. I don't know if it's a self-esteem thing, or you trying to, you trying to get more followers, you trying to get more likes and comments, you trying to be recognized and stuff like that. It's a little ridiculous at this point. This make it look as natural as possible. You know, make it look as natural as possible, because the work y'all getting done is looking bad. It's looking bad. I don't know where y'all going to get this surgery done at, but please, if your doctor basically says, okay, I don't think that will look good, we should go with this instead, please listen to your doctor. And if you're a doctor, you're not, truly being honest with your patient, then you should lose your license. That's just my opinion. I think you should just lose your license, because you're not being honest with your patient. I know a lot of doctors are only in it for the money, but that's not if you're going to be a doctor, do it for the right reasons. That's all I'm saying. And for the ladies out there who want to continue to show your bodies, show your booty, whatever, so you could get all these thirsty ass dudes to comment and like your video or picture, whatever. Hey, if it's bringing you the attention that you want, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. But, also remember too, you're gonna have some dudes out there, they're gonna be like, all right, something ain't right. And you gotta accept it. So, and also know it's not for everybody. Everybody's not meant to have a big booty, I guess. But, and speaking of plastic surgery, we got to talk about Madonna. I'm not sure what's going on with Madonna right now. I don't know. I don't know what she done. I know y'all seen the video that's all on social media. I don't know what, I don't recognize her, to be honest. I don't know what she had done, but it doesn't look good at all. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, y'all could go search it for yourself. It doesn't look good at all. My opinion, it don't. Because, some people who get, especially when you're in the entertainment business, what happened to this naturally growing old? I mean, you're not going to look good forever. I mean, you're not going to look young forever. I'm not going to say you could look good forever, but you're not going to look young forever. Right? And sometimes you just got to accept it. You can still be beautiful at the age. And I saw a woman on, I think it was TikTok or Instagram, how she pointed out other women her age that actually are beautiful. The different race of women, whether white, black, Hispanic, Asian, at the age that Madonna is, and how they look great for their age. I don't understand entertainers and plastic surgery. Like, why would you purposely mess up your face? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Why would you do that? I know for me, I ain't gonna do that. I can't do that. I just don't understand it at all. But we have seen plastic surgery And people, I mean, don't get me wrong. Um, if you get it done once, okay, I'm cool. That's cool, you know. But if you continue to get it done, it's just like, okay, it is enough. There's something wrong with you. Um, who else? Like who had bad plastic surgery? Um, the guy who is considered the human Ken doll, whatever. I remember I seen him on an episode of Botch. I watched it with my wife, and this guy had ribs taken out, his facial. I mean, it just looked like what he could barely breathe because he had his nose done. And it's like, why? Why? I mean, you're perfect as you know who you are, right? Those little. I don't know why you want to be a Ken doll anyway. First and foremost, you're a grown man. Why would you want to be that? Secondly, um, plastic surgery can make you look a lot worse than you did, you know, before. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't understand it. I think when you get too much plastic surgery done, it is just hard to look at because you just ask yourself why. Why? What's the purpose behind it? I don't understand it. But some people want to know they want perfection, and sometimes perfection is just being comfortable with you know yourself, your image, and can't nobody take that away from you. Man, it just when I think about that, it just really just like, that's not right. Why would we do that? Why would you do that? I don't get it. But hey, I know personally I'm not gonna do it. Um, that's just how I am. So I'm not gonna worry about anything like that at all. But let's move on. Let's move on. Cause talking about this plastic surgery and you know, you got the fake butts out there that's it just I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, oh, we're gonna start telling these women that it don't look good. They going out in public thinking that, oh, it looks sexy. It really don't. You know what I mean? So we're gonna tell people, hey, you don't need you'll get plastic surgery once, but you can't get it all the time. You know what I mean? You can't get it all the time because it ain't gonna look right by the end of the day. Absolutely not. So that's a hard thing to say, but you know, sometimes it's the truth. It's the truth, and you gotta deal with it. What else is going on out there? What's going on out there today? There was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Um, oh yeah. When it comes to this podcast, Drinking After Dark podcast, if um if you're a fan of the podcast, tell your friends and family about this podcast. You know, let's grow this podcast. Um, again, like I said, follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Let's get those followers up to 1,000 on Facebook and Instagram. And we already at over 1,000 on TikTok. Let's continue to get those numbers up on TikTok, man. I also gonna have some new things coming along with this podcast. So y'all stay tuned for that. I'll make an announcement within a week or two about what I have new coming on with this podcast. So y'all stay tuned for that. Also, um, man, I just want to say thanks for all the support, all the love that y'all showing for the podcast. Man, y'all please continue to support the podcast. Um, Cash App. If you want to cash out, know me in support of the podcast, just do cash out me personally. The $ Darius Bagwell. That's DARIUS BAGWELL. Maybe $5, $10, $20. You know, anything help. You know, to help support the podcast. You know, we're going to take this thing further and everything like that. And again, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, please don't hesitate. Hit me up on Facebook and Instagram at Drinking After Dark Podcast and send a DM. And also, too, if you want to advertise, if you have a small business or you have like a hit single that you want to push, same thing. Drinking After Dark Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, send a DM. You know, we'll discuss details and everything like that. So let's continue to grow the podcast. Let's continue to build this platform and stuff like that. I'll have some guests coming on soon. So y'all stay tuned to that. I just wanted to come up here and, you know, just talk to you guys alone, man, because I really never really get a chance to really talk to the listeners, talk to the viewers. I really never get a chance to do that as much, but I'm talking to you guys and things like that. But again, I will have guests to come on the podcast as well. Forget. Subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. Yes, let's do that. Let's get those followers up. Let's get those subscribers up, I should say. And let's make it happen. So, but yeah, man, I hope everybody's doing well out there. It's a lot going on out here. You still have people who are talking about the Oscar situation. I wish people would stop talking about it. It's over and done with now. It's over and done with now. So let's move on from it. I don't really talk politics. I don't talk religion on the show because people are sensitive about things like that. So I don't really talk about it. Yeah, it's a lot that's going on right now. I was gonna say this real quick. How can I say this? You know how when people have platforms out there and they just saying whatever to go viral. People don't like. My thing with media as a whole is all about the shock value, right? And sometimes it's done in good taste and sometimes it's not. But I just think that, sometimes just understand like everything you put out is not good. Sometimes it could bring unwanted attention to yourself. So just be careful how you use your platform. Use it responsibly. If you're all about the drama, I know that's what people are into. Some people like to put all their business out there for the world to know, which I think that's one of the dumbest things you could ever do. You know what I mean? So, it's true though. Like I said, the situation with the Oscars, you seen that situation, how that went down. I just think that some things just should be kept to yourself. You don't have to put everything out there. Yeah. I just think it's just, to me, have fun with your platform, but don't get too personal with your platform. I think that's I think that's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So let's do that as well. And, for also, for anybody out there who is going after your dreams or whatever, I'm always preaching that go after your dreams. Don't stop for anybody. Go after your dreams. There's something that you want to become. It's something you have a passion for. Go out there and do it. All right. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up your job to do this full time. Just when you go to work, you go to work. Then when you off of work, you focus on your dreams. That it's just as simple as that. I have a job myself. But I'm here. this podcast is something that I love to do. I love to come talk to you guys. I love bringing guests on to talk with me, have fun and everything like that. Have a couple of drinks, and this is what I love to do. That's why I want this to really really blow up, because this is what I love to do. There's a lot of things in my life I love to do. Right, basketball was my first love. Whenever I get a chance to play, I'll play when I have the time to play. But basketball is my first love. Of course, I love my family. Marketing, that's what I went to school for. That's why I have my degree in marketing, and also this podcast. So, you can have different loves and you have different passions. You're gonna go hard for whatever, but this is the thing. One of the things I'm going hard for, because I really want to see this make it. I want to see this blow up. You know what I mean? You never know what this could lead to. As a family member said, you never know what this can lead to. So, I'm going hard on this podcast for you guys and stuff like that. So don't stop believing. Don't stop chasing your dreams. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. You just got to put in the work to make it happen. Man, this was good talking to you guys. This was great talking to you guys. I don't know what you guys have planned. I don't know what movies you're going to see, what music you're listening to. I'm letting y'all know I am going to check out that new Sonic movie. I am. I will come back and give you my thoughts on the Sonic movie next week. So we'll see about this. I seen the first one. I like the first one. And we'll see how the second one is. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out. I'll probably check out. I might do a movie segment with this podcast. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how it goes. But I definitely will talk to you guys about it as well. And again, stay tuned, because I have an announcement to make. What else I have coming with this podcast. So if you follow me, or if you know somebody who might be interested in this platform, hey, listen, tell them to follow Drinking After Dark Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and have them subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. Let's go and continue to make this thing bigger. I want to start getting multiple guests on here. So let's go ahead and continue to have multiple guests on here. So I'm ready. I'm ready to take that next step. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. That's what I want to talk to you about, because it was in my mind. It was on my mind and just went somewhere, and now it's back. I gotta ask. What when you go get relationship advice, like, who do y'all go to? Do y'all go on these other platforms to get relationship advice, or do y'all like go to a friend or a family member? Because I don't really understand why people would go up to these platforms and get relationship advice when you could have just went to somebody in your family, or like a close family friend who's been in a relationship for 20, 30, 40 years. I don't get it. But see, here's the thing too. Some of the advice that people give, I can see where they're coming from. I can see where they're coming from, and it is a case by case basis. So everybody is not alike. It's a case by case basis, but they go there. I guess they just want to interact with somebody that's famous. I guess that's how it is. Speaking of relationships, I forgot the guy's name, but he has a podcast. He actually went viral, basically talking about Russell Wilson and Sierra's relationship, basically saying that the only reason that she's with Russell Wilson, the only reason Sierra's with Russell Wilson is because he got money. Because Russell Wilson's really, if he just a square, basically, like a nerd and things like that. This is my thing about it. If you don't understand, all right, first off, let's say this to the guy who made that statement. You played in the league. I don't know if you're married or not. I don't really watch the platform like that. But can we say the same thing about your situation? Because I mean, truth of the matter is that Russell Wilson is an athlete. I never really, and you're gonna have guys who are smart. They're not street like that. Their swag is different. They have a different type of swag about them, right? And Russell Wilson, who is also on his second marriage. People forget that he's on marriage too. Sierra's his second wife. But I don't understand why you would call somebody else a square, because the only reason he could get a woman is like that is because he got money. And we hear back and forth, right? But usually money attract people. But in this case, she got money, he got money. They have a nice family. I don't look at Russell Wilson as a square. I don't think we all know he's not like a street dude, whatever. He does have swag, the way he presents himself, is different, especially as a quarterback. Because we all know quarterbacks, if anybody pays attention to sports, quarterbacks are like the most important position of any sport, right? So his image is everything to him as a quarterback. So the way he presents himself, the way he speaks, just everything about him. I don't see a square. I see a grown man. That's what I see. You're gonna have dudes that's gonna disagree with me, but hey, I always say this, man. The dudes that you call squares, how you define what a square is, most likely you're gonna look for a job, and the person who's gonna hire you is that same person you're talking about. So, and it's funny that you bring that up, right? Because even if you want to have a platform to really speak your mind, think about who all put the platforms together. Is all I'm saying. So I don't see Russell Wilson as a square. I see him as a grown man who's taking care of his business, who loves his family. He does whatever he can for him. I don't look at it like that. So if a grown man to speak on that, something wrong with you. Y'all want to debate that whole thing, something's wrong with you. Just don't do that. That's not cool. Leave it alone. Well, got that off my chest. But now we're coming to the end of the episode. So once again, follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. Before I get out of here, again, thanks for all the love and support. Continue to spread the word of Drinking After Dark Podcast. If you want to be a guest on the podcast or you want to advertise on the podcast, go to Drinking After Dark Podcast Facebook page, Instagram page, and send a DM. And I will discuss details with you. And also continue to go after your dreams. Don't let anybody stop you. If they're not in your corner, they're not, pushing you to go follow your dreams, or they're not even trying to support you in whatever you're trying to do. Get them out of your life. You don't need them. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's friends. Get them out of your life. Go chase after your dreams. And I'm telling you, it'll be probably like the best decision you'll ever make. Because I understand it's going to take work to make your dreams come true. Until next time, everybody, this is Darius from Drinking After Dark podcast, and we out of here. Peace.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.